Right now, what police say fueled an altercation in Janesville that escalated to a gun being flashed in a Walmart parking lot.
And police announce a pair of arrests today linked to a string of vandalism in the Sun Prairie area that totaled nearly $80,000 in damage.
Plus, the president says the U.S. and Mexico have reached a deal just hours before the tariff deadline. What it includes, coming up.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Janesville police say they're investigating whether an incident outside of a Walmart yesterday could qualify as a hate crime.
Police say there's no easy way to make that determination. Our Adam Duxter took a closer look tonight at what happened. It is new tonight at 10.
What started out as a normal trip to the store for one Janesville man
I was going there to grab like some food and stuff.
quickly became something serious.
I see like a group of people. It was like 3-4 women and like 3-4 Caucasian males. So I'm looking over and he's like cursing at elderly African-American woman on the other side.
Janesville police say a group of young adults had begun harassing a woman after a dispute about her parking. This man, who we are choosing not to name, saw it all happen and stepped in and says he heard them threaten her in allegedly reference to the color of her skin.
That's somebody's grandma. Let it be my grandmother.
He says he confronted the group led by 20-year-old Anthony Cryer of Beloit. He says that's when Cryer turned on him, using racial slurs before allegedly threatening him with a gun.
He lifts up his shirt and he had a silver revolver. After that point, I mean, ain't nothing you can really do. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and run up and try to fight him when he has a gun on and it's tucked in his pants.
He says that's when he called police, who showed up and arrested Cryer and one other female. Later on, police found Cryer's gun, which they say he had tried to get rid of. Now they're investigating if this could be considered a hate crime.
No tolerance for any type of racial slurs, any type of hate crimes. We will have no tolerance for that in Janesville.
Well, the person they allegedly targeted says he's scared something like this could happen again.
And you're calling me all these names and stuff and all that, but you got a gun. I don't take racism kindly at all. I have zero tolerance for it.
Adam Duxter reporting. Anthony Cryer is out of jail after being booked and released. Police are investigating to see whether or not this could escalate to hate crime charges, but in doing so, they're asking the woman who was involved at the start to come share what happened to her.
Police have arrested 2 people in connection with the vandalism spree at the Sun Prairie Fire Department's training facilities. 21-year-old Samuel Kuehler and 21-year-old Riley Frenzel are both from Sun Prairie. Police arrested both of them on 4 felony counts, damage to property and burglary. Police say during their investigation, they learned the 2 were also involved in separate vandalisms. One at the Sun Prairie Aquatic Center last year, the other at a construction site for Full Mile Brewing Company. In total, the 2 are accused of causing damage upwards of $75,000.
Medcast Market says by the end of the day today, all Fairlife products will be back on store shelves. Earlier this week, you'll recall they were removed after undercover video showed animals being abused and mistreated at Fair Oaks Farm. That's in Indiana. According to a post today, Metcalf says they appreciate the swift response from the farm. They believe their plans for evaluation and corrective action will create an environment where animals are treated humanely. The woman involved in a standoff that shut down the interstate in Waukesha County earlier this week has now been charged. 31-year-old Kaylin Sunday is facing counts of resisting arrest, felony bail jumping. Police say she live streamed the standoff on Facebook from inside a van. It started as a police chase, which came to a halt on the overpass when the van's tires were blown out. A man who was also involved later threatened her with a knife, and police shot him multiple times. No charges have been filed against him just yet. He was seriously injured in that shooting.
To weather now. The weekend is looking pretty nice. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is here with your first alert forecast. Hi, Gary.
Hi. Tomorrow will be sunny. Temperatures will be up in the low 80s, and it looks like at least a warm start to the weekend. Sunday, there might be a chance for a shower or thunderstorm. But weather track right now shows Wisconsin pretty much free of clouds. The nearest precipitation well to our north and west. High temperatures today were in the lower to middle 80s for much of southern Wisconsin. La Crosse topped out at 90, but notice near Lake Michigan, Milwaukee only hit 71, and they were in the 60s for much of the day. In fact, right now, Milwaukee's at 58 degrees, while Madison's still at 67, and La Crosse is at 75 degrees. By tomorrow morning, temperatures will be in the middle 50s, but look for mostly sunny skies through the day tomorrow. It'll be another warm day with a high of 81. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
President Trump tweeted late tonight that the U.S. has reached a signed agreement with Mexico. He said the 5% tariffs that were scheduled to be put into effect on Monday will be suspended indefinitely. He added that Mexico has agreed to take strong measures to stem the tide of migration through Mexico and to the southern border. You can spot a bright new flag at the state capitol. For the first time in Wisconsin history, the rainbow pride flag has been raised in honor of the LGBTQ community. According to the office of Governor Evers, the flag combats social stigma while sending the message that Wisconsin is inclusive. Onlookers tell News 3 Now seeing the flag raised was history in the making.
That's something we've been waiting for forever. The fact that it took this long is crazy, but the fact that it's here and it's an emotional feeling, happy feeling, sad feeling, but all in all, it's amazing, and I'm glad it finally happened.
The flag will be flying at the Capitol throughout Pride Month until June 30th.
The Trump administration is denying permission for multiple U.S. embassies to fly the rainbow pride flag this month. That is according to 2 senior State Department officials. Embassies are required to get permission from the State Department when flying anything besides the American flag on their main flagpoles. The United States and Russian navies are at odds over an apparent near collision in the Pacific today, with each side blaming the other. The U.S. Navy says the 2 ships came so close together that the U.S. ship was forced to throw it in reverse to avoid a crash. The USS Chancellorsville was conducting helicopter operations at the time, so it was unable to turn, but Russian officials say it was the U.S. warship that instigated the incident. The Navy says the incident happened in the Philippine Sea, while Russia media is reporting it was in the East China Sea. The incident comes 3 days after the U.S. accused Russia of intercepting a U.S. aircraft 3 times in as many hours over the Mediterranean. Former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg pledging to put his money where his mouth is when it comes to fighting climate change. Bloomberg announced on Twitter that he is donating $500 million to close all U.S. coal plants by the year 2030. He calls this initiative the largest ever coordinated campaign to tackle the climate crisis. The initiative, called Beyond Carbon, aims to steer the U.S. back on a path to a completely clean energy economy.
A New York City man accused of planning a terrorist attack on Times Square is being held without bail. 22-year-old Ashiqul Alam was arraigned today on charges he bought illegal guns from an undercover agent to move the plot forward. Federal prosecutors say he is a flight risk and a danger to the community. Alam moved to the U.S. from Bangladesh 12 years ago and is a legal permanent resident. In court papers, prosecutors said he spoke about terrorist organizations, including ISIS, during months of conversations with the agent. The Jeffco School District in Colorado says it is considering tearing down Columbine High School. 20 years ago, 12 students and a teacher were killed at the school. More than 20 were wounded. District officials say there has been an increase in, quote, morbid fascination with the school, so-called Columbiners drawn to the high school for inspiration.
We have hundreds of people who try to enter the building or walk onto the grounds or slow roll by it. We even have tour buses of people that stop outside Columbine High School. And it's just a constant threat to the kids that are there.
A letter from the school district says they are thinking about asking voters for the funds to build a new school.
The UW Board of Regents has named its new president. Fellow regents unanimously voted for Drew Peterson to take over for John Bailing. Bailing's term ended in May. Peterson has served as vice president of the board since 2017 and has been a regent since 2013. Dane County Sheriff Dave Mahoney recognized a record-breaking 99 people at the Sheriff's Office annual awards ceremony today. Those awards ranged from Citizen Award to honoring those who were involved in the Paradigm shooting last September in Middleton. While everyone who got an award is noteworthy, some that you may recognize are those who were involved in some of the more heavily covered stories we have done in the past, including the shooting at Paradigm. More than 16 of Sheriff Dave Mahoney's staff were honored on stage for their involvement in life-saving efforts. They even got a standing ovation.
All were prepared to do their job when called upon. All of the deputies and officers who entered that building in response to this 911 call demonstrated extreme courage and bravery. For that, we honor them today.
Everyone who got an award today was nominated throughout the year for their exceptional and noteworthy efforts to save lives and better the community.
Women are getting support for their artistic ambitions in a career space largely dominated by men. Co-founders Dr. Eva Ugatresh and Dr. Laura Modisky are directing the second annual Lunart Festival, which seeks to empower female artists. The festival takes place at the Overture Center and is hosting more than 100 artists from across the country.
Our mission is to support, promote, and celebrate women's creativity in the arts. So we're trying to create a platform when women artists will come, share their voices, and collaborate.
The festival continues this weekend, but the art exhibition Women Against Hate United by Love will be on display until July 7th. Still ahead tonight, it's looking like a nice weekend for the Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk. A preview and your forecast are coming out.
Plus, Madison beaches are still recovering from the massive flooding last year, what it means for this summer. That story straight ahead. A new report from the U.S. Bureau of Labor says that the U.S. economy added 75,000 jobs in May. Now, that is a low number, well below what experts predicted, but the unemployment rate did remain at a 3.6% clip, meaning joblessness is still hovering near a half-century low. The uphill battle with Amazon has forced Barnes & Noble to go private. It is being purchased by private equity firm Elliott Management, which owns one of the largest booksellers in the United Kingdom. The deal will be worth about $683 million. Barnes & Noble is the nation's largest bookstore chain, 627 stores in all 50 states.
NASA looks to be opening the International Space Station to tourists. The U.S. Space Agency says it plans to allow private astronauts to fly to the space station. Under the plan, as many as 2 private astronauts a year could stay for up to 30 days at the ISS. And it could be costly, upwards of $35,000 a night. And the first such space tourist could arrive as early as next year. We are just hours away from the start of the annual Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk. Volunteers were out putting on the finishing touches. It's being held tomorrow morning at the Alliant Energy Center. So far, the event has raised nearly $184,000 of its $200,000 goal.
I think this event is a really great way for our community to come together and honor our breast cancer survivors, those with metastatic breast cancer, honor the people that we've lost.
You can join our own Susan Simon and other women from News 3 Now at tomorrow's walk. Day of registration and t-shirt pickup begin at 7 in the morning, followed by the opening ceremony walk at 9 o'clock. And it is still not too late to register, and you can do so by heading over to our website, channel3000.com.
Shorewood Elementary School is celebrating its inclusivity. They held a school assembly today to recognize its National Seal of Excellence from Welcoming Schools. Shorewood, one of 16 Madison schools participating in that national program. It includes professional development, lesson plans, and books on topics like diversity, plus gender and LGBTQ inclusion to make sure all students feel safe and included. Downtown Madison's Taco Bell Cantina is now officially a cantina after a nearly 2-year legal battle with the city of Madison. And it is celebrating the occasion today with a special First Pour event. The Cantina's first request for a liquor license was vetoed by former Mayor Paul Soglin, but it was not approved until earlier this year. And if you stop by, you got another, 45 minutes. For 11 o'clock tonight, you can get a free taco with the purchase of one of their alcoholic beverages.
It should be a gorgeous day tomorrow, right in time for beach season. All of the city's 13 beaches are open, but some are still on the mend, recovering from last August's historic flooding. The Madison Parks Division says Marshall, Tenney, Old Brick, and BB Clark were the hardest hit, suffering substantial damage following torrential downpours and the subsequent flooding.
It's very typical that we have to come in and re-nourish a beach each spring, but it's not every beach, and it's not to the same degree that we're having to do this year.
No beaches are beyond repair, though. The Parks Division is currently applying for a FEMA grant that will use federal, state, and city money to make repairs, which is expected to cost in the thousands.
Beautiful weekend on tap for us as well for the More Than Pink Walk, whatever you got going on. It's looking pretty good, Gary.
80 degrees and sunny. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, it's a very nice day today. Wasn't quite so nice 35 years ago tonight. In fact, this is the anniversary of the Barneveld tornado back in 1984, and get on the right graphic here, but it was a nasty night across southern Wisconsin. About this time, some strong thunderstorms and very strong winds were rolling through southern Wisconsin. And basically what happened is shortly after midnight, the Barneveld tornado swept into the city of Barneveld and basically wiped out the town. About 9 fatalities, 197 injuries from that tornado. And again, just a tragic situation. Tonight, though, things very quiet. Notice Wisconsin pretty much in the clear. High temperatures today generally were in the lower to middle 80s. And for some reason, my computer jumped off to the wrong graphic again. Let's see if we can get back to where we need to be here. Yeah, there we go. We'll start it over. Let's see if we can start over here. Try it again. There's the Barneveld tornado. Now, let's get the information on that. The tornado struck just before 1 o'clock in the morning. $25 million in damage as the storm went. And the outbreak produced 46 tornadoes across the upper Midwest, including a number of tornadoes across southern Wisconsin that were F2 or F3 in strength, including an F3 in Markesan and F2 tornadoes in DeForest, Arlington, and Belmont. So Barneveld wasn't alone with the severe weather that night. Now, tonight, there is a severe thunderstorm watch over parts of North Dakota, but the live view from the WISC Skycam here shows things very quiet. Skies are clear. It's very comfortable out there. It was a warm day today. High in Madison, 83 degrees, the low 55. And right now our temperature is still at 67 degrees with mostly clear skies, the air calm, and the dew point temperature very comfortable in the mid 50s. High temperatures today, 80s through much of the state. Milwaukee only hit 71 before a lake breeze kicked them back into the 60s. But notice out to the west, much of Minnesota saw temperatures at or above 90 degrees. We'll probably be in the lower 80s at least for for tomorrow before a cold front moves through on Sunday. Current temperatures are generally in the 70s over the western half of Wisconsin, 60s in the eastern portion of the state away from Lake Michigan. But again, Wisconsin pretty much in the clear. The northern branch of the jet stream, the polar jet stream, has shifted up into southern Canada. That keeps the cold air locked up to the north. The southern branch of the jet stream, the subtropical jet stream, down near the Gulf Coast, keeping a lot of the moisture away from us. So we're kind of in between those. That usually gives us a warm and dry pattern, and that's exactly what we have now. This cold front coming in from the west has some showers and thunderstorms behind it right now. Temperatures generally 60s and 70s, even a few 80s at 10 o'clock out to the west of us. But as we take a look at future track, you can see as that front starts to get closer, it'll bring chances for showers and thunderstorms into Minnesota tomorrow. Meantime, some of that moisture from the south will eventually get pulled up into maybe far southern Wisconsin, at least northern Illinois, and then the two kind of come together during the day on Sunday, giving us our best chances for a shower or thunderstorm. But even then, they'll be pretty widely scattered, and much of the day will be dry. Notice the clearing coming in from the west. We're back to partly sunny skies on Monday, although temperatures will be a little cooler. Forecast for the overnight hours: mostly clear skies, a pleasant night, low temperature dropping to 55. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and warm again, our high temperature topping out at 81 degrees. On future track, very clear skies for tonight. Temperatures mid-50s, highs tomorrow into that bright sunshine into the low 80s. Tomorrow night, clouds start to move back in. Latest computer model forecasts keep more of the showers to our south, so we might stay dry for much of tomorrow night with a low of 60, and then a chance for a shower or thunderstorm at some point during the day on Sunday. High temperatures eventually in the upper 70s. 7 to 10 day forecast. A little cooler for Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures in the low to mid 70s. Shower and thunderstorm chances come back on Wednesday. A brief cool down on Thursday, and then warming back up to the low 80s by next Saturday. Father's Day Sunday might see a shower or thunderstorm, but high temperatures generally upper 70s at that time.
It looks like a decent week ahead.
Sure does.
Thank you, Gary.
Okay. Thanks, Gary. The Monroe Cheesemakers dominant on the mound, looking for a chance at a state title. We'll have the highlights coming your way next in sports.
Well, it is state title weekend for high school softball teams throughout the state, and we've got a few familiar faces from our area in the tournament. Division I getting off to a bit of a late start. Last year's champion Sun Prairie trying to get back to the title game to defend the championship, facing Pulaski tonight. They're only in the third inning right now, but the winner of that game will face Oshkosh North. They beat Kenosha Bradford 4-0 earlier tonight. Monroe, the top seed in Division V, making its 8th appearance at state. The last time was in 2013, facing 4th seed New Berlin West. Cheesemakers get going early. Bottom of the first, Katie Hayes lining one to right field. Olivia Boback hustles from second, 3-0 Monroe. Boback lighting it up on the mound to one of her 11 Ks on the day. Monroe beats New Berlin West 10-2, and Boback has been dreaming of this day.
I was thinking about it. Even like our last sectional game, I dreamt about it, even though we didn't even play it yet. I don't know. But yeah, I was just so excited to play and just be here, especially being a senior. I was just I wanted to get as far as we could. And, of course, state's our goal, but now that we're here, might as well just try to win it.
Division III semifinals looking like deer hunting season with all the fans from Poynette in their orange shirts against Prescott. Poynette pitcher Casey Fountain nearly unhittable. Junior striking out 14 batters in the game. Scoreless until the fourth when Poynette taking over here. The Pumas scored 3 times on wild pitches in the inning. Mara Millard coming home on that one. Then Poynette just kept on adding on from there. Brianna Kowald rolling a single to center to score Lizzie Schwen. And Poynette will defend its Division III title tomorrow against Campbellsport. The Pumas beat Prescott today 7-0, and the Poynette ladies say today's win was about persistence.
Something that we always talk about is grit. That's our main thing. If you see on our shirts, it says it takes grit. And to me, that means just sticking through and persevering through anything. And I think our team is really good at that.
Here's our motto, we're just always looking for better. That's all we ever tell them. We're just looking for better every single day. That's what you should do every day in your life anyway, is look for better.
Meanwhile, the Brewers got outscored 24-3 in that 3-game series against the Marlins, so not great. The Crew looking for some production on runs in this series against the Pirates. Brewers up 4-3 in the 6th. Ryan Braun, hitless until this point in the game, launches one straight up and back for a 3-run home run. Top of the lineup comes home, and it's Braun's 10th home run of the season, 7-3 Brewers. Right now, they are up 10-3 in the 8th inning. Day game for the Cardinals and Cubs at Wrigley Field. A little warm for that hoodie. Oh, that's okay. Cubs getting off to a fast start thanks to Javi Baez. 2-run home run, and it's 2-0 Cubs. Same score until the 4th inning. Victor Caratini sending one out to left. RBI single scoring Jason Hayward. 3-0 Cubs. Cole Hamels with a fantastic day on the mound, giving up 3 hits, striking out 10. Cubs win 3-1, the final score. We'll be right back.
Gary's here with the final check of your forecast.
Yeah, warm day today. Last couple of days have been warm. Tomorrow should be about the same. We're at 67 right now. Temperature is still well into the 70s to the west of us, but notice that lake breeze. Temperatures have been in the 50s all day near Milwaukee, just inland from there, and it'll be the case again tomorrow. But we'll look for a high of 81. We're not Lake Mendota isn't going to cool us down that much. 77 on Sunday with some chances for showers and thunderstorms. Dry Monday and Tuesday, shower and thunderstorm chance Wednesday, then dry Thursday, Friday, and probably Saturday as well, with highs back in the lower 80s by Saturday, and then Father's Day maybe a shower or thunderstorm chance, highs upper 70s after that.
And Father's Day, just a little more than a week away. It's like everything came up fast because it was chilly for so long.
I know. We still haven't hit 90 yet, and International Falls is at 90 today. So
Something to achieve.
Thanks for joining us.
Do something good and have a great weekend.